Hello. Thanks for being here. I went back to the pool room because I had found two 128Ds. And so I brought it onto this place at this time. And I picked up the keyboard, but I have not turned it on. Now this one does seem to have, ooh, I believe I hear a fan running. And also, there are some switches on the front here. So I'm going to press the reset button, flip this switch, see what this does. Aha! Okay. So it does seem that this machine has Jiffy DOS. It does. Version 6.01, copyright 1989. Now this other switch, I'm going to hit the reset button, and flip that. See what it does. Ooh, the servant. Oh. Interesting. I am not familiar with this. The servant, version 4.84. Well, let's do a directory, because it says we can. Alright. And we can. Boot disk, run 64, load, quote, comma, sorry, quote, asterisk, quote, comma, 64. Directory, disk tools, monitor, data maker, renew, go 64, reset preps, swap 4080. Interesting. Yep, can't see it. Call Xron, format QBB, DOS commands. Interesting. Let's look at disk tools. Configure drive, oh my. Yeah, there's a lot of things here. I had never seen this before. File cup, unscratch. Interesting. I wonder. I would not think that there's anything in this disk. Okay. Well, then there isn't. I asked it if there was any scratch files on this disk. It says there aren't. Configure drives. Disk copier. Well, let's try the disk copier. BAM controlled copy. BLAM controlled copy means block allocation map. And that means only copy the areas that have things on them. And in this case, maybe I'll say yes. Insert source disk, press space. And away it will go. I do not know, I have not looked in this machine to know if this fan is an addition. But, I mean, judging, oh, I have a read error. Insert target disk. Here, this blank disk. Oh, I leave this formatting in, so it's a good thing that I didn't put a disk in that had things on it. Formats quickly. Anyway, I don't know if this fan is an addition that somebody put in, or if it is. I seem to remember hearing maybe some of these came with fans. And of course, as we know from Bill Hurd and others, heat is the enemy, heat is the enemy. so it is writing things. I don't know if it's going to have to swap or not. I would think. See, this 1541 test demo disc does not have a whole lot of stuff on it, except for a read error. But maybe that doesn't matter. I don't know. It seems to be doing its thing here. It does. And I wonder, on the 128, how much faster does Jiffy DOS make it? I don't know. As I may have... Oh, okay, let's... oh. I just want to look at the directory. I'll quit. Oh. Okay. Directory. What do we got? Oh. Looks like it copied it. It does. And I suppose it's got a, oh yeah, it has a little cursor thing here. Well, maybe I'll try this. I'm running the check ditch program on the 128D with the scratch disk. And I wonder if with Jiffy DOS, if this will haul any faster or not. And the answer is, I do, yeah. It is it's moving along. Anyway, I know Jiffy DOS and fast load cartridges and other things must have been good because so many people bought them. But you know, as I've said, you know, for a long time I was the Commodore 64 librarian for T-Pipe, and I turned out, I don't know how many discs, bunches and bunches and bunches. I remember one time, this kind of pissed me off. Before A World of Commodore, I had really gone to town and cranked out maybe 30 or 40 new discs of stuff that we had sent in and that we had found and all kinds of stuff. And then, and this is how people's perceptions are, then I heard, I think it was the president of the time complaining that I hadn't come out with a show disc. No, I hadn't come out with a show disc. I came out with 30 or 40 new discs, but not one called the show disc. But mind you, no one's ever said, hey, you should come out with one called the show disc. Yeah. People are funny. And unfortunately, there are times when people who are funny can get these preconceived notions. And the other thing, of course, is some people are funny in that they don't like to see other people do well or succeed at what they're doing or be good at what they're doing. And instead of saying, yeah, that's great, you go, take the ball and run, because then we all look good, some people set out to destroy such people because they're jealous and their egos can't handle the fact that somebody else is doing well. Anyway, so I'm going to leave this to keep running. One thing about this 128 for sure, compared to the one below it, is this front bezel. I like that word, bezel. Is very yellowed. The rest of the machine is not, but it does have some more, certainly has more scrapes, and it's been moved around more than the other. But it has Jiffy DOS and this other thing in it. It does. and it has a fan. So perhaps one day, soon, we'll look into this machine, see what we can find. I have been venturing further into the pool room. Yes, maybe indeed, soon. Once I'm sure I can do okay in there, maybe we'll take a little walk in there. Alright. Well, thank you for coming. It's always a pleasure to have you here as I meander through. And of course, just double check, the power light on this machine works. So I know it's on, even though I know the drive is spinning and the fan is spinning. This little silent one, it tricked me. It did. But thankfully, it doesn't seem that I've done any permanent damage. But we'll see. We shall. Anyway, monitor does not need to be on. If I could just actually, there, turn it off. And I'll let this sit, and I'll let this run, and I'll see what else I can find. What else there is to do. There's lots to do. I have more to do than I can possibly do. But I'll keep trying. And of course, always put your disc back into the sleeve, lest it get dusty and dirty the heads. Ah! Seems to keep working, yes. Anyway, and beware, don't flip the disk drive open in the midst of an operation. It just doesn't go well. Have a lovely evening, a lovely day. Stay safe. Stay tuned. Bye for now.